Hey, sorry if you hear the construction outside. They're fixing up all the potholes. The winter is very bad this year. I hate winter, so oh my god, the damage to the roads is astounding to me. I haven't seen damage like that in a while, especially after Hurricane Katrina. Oh wait, Hurricane Katrina was last year. Anyway, that's not the subject. So I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite movies of all time, and what I consider to be a betrayal. So I'm not gonna talk much about this, but The Thing. Well, John Carpenter's The Thing, and I consider it my most favorite horror movie of all time. And I still don't get why almost all the critics bashed it, but I saw this when I was very young, and even though it was on TV, I don't know what channel I watched. It was uncensored. I saw the whole thing, and it scared me to hell. I think I actually pissed my pants at the time because I was a little kid. But after I grew older and rewatched it again and again and again, this still haunts me to this day because, my god, it's a horrifying movie. The makeup effects, the practical effects, the atmosphere, the lighting, and everything. It just works and it clicks and it shows me what a true horror should be. And nowadays you get most of the movies I like that are horror is basically horror comedies. Nothing scares me anymore. And the fact that this movie from 1982 scares me the most, it just shows that now all the horror movies are crap. So, like I said, I'm not gonna talk much about this. All I can say is that it's to me the best horror movie ever. The practical effects are great. And use of lighting is perfect because the monsters are mostly in the dark, but they look so realistic based on the few bits of lighting here and there. And yeah, it's a very disgusting movie. I almost wanted to throw up at one particular scene when I forgot the character's name. He's the fat guy. His stomach bursted open and bite off the doctor's arms off. And then when something came out of his stomach and it turns out that it's like the intestines and they make up the face and everything. Oh my god, that was creepy as hell. I was like, "Bruh." But yeah, Kurt Russell was great. Everyone was good, even though I forgot their names. I only know Kurt Russell as Mac. I can't believe I forgot the characters' names, but they're all memorable. Each single one of the people. I mean, there's Keith David. Shoot, I should know his name. I don't think it's Grady. I think that's something else. Childs. His name is Childs. And then you have the Doc, who's played by Wilford Brimley. And then you have everyone else. I don't know the actors' names, but each one of the people are memorable. And good thing it's a very small cast because, you know, it makes you relate to them each more. And even though they don't go that much into every character's backstory, I don't think they went to anyone's backstory. You still know their personalities based on what they're doing and what they say. Every single character is an actual person. So you relate a lot to them. And when it turns out that one of the characters you like turns out to be one of the things, you know, the aliens, then you feel scared because you don't know who else is infected. And that's the point of the movie. You don't know who is the alien because the alien can manipulate its cells to look like they could assimilate the cells of another being and take over, and that becomes the alien. And they could each cell is living, so it could split itself apart and becomes different aliens. And this happens in Antarctica, base in Antarctica, and all these guys are normal guys trying to wait it out until more people can come in, and then the storm happens and all shit goes to hell. And you know what? That's perfect for a horror movie. But now I'm gonna talk about the betrayal, the piece of shit, The Thing. You know, I don't like the fact that they called the remake / prequel a thing, The Thing. But at least this one, you know, is called John Carpenter's The Thing. So at least you know this is the one, The Thing. And I know there's a black and white version of The Thing called The Thing from Another World. But honestly, I consider this to be much more better than that. I'm not a fan of black and white that much, but also I was scared by this compared to that. Even though I did like it for what it is, but I'm not a big fan of The Thing from Another World. But I respect it. I don't respect the prequel / remake. It sucks. It really sucks. And here's the thing. I should have not seen it in theaters, but I really want to see it because I love this so much. And from the reviews I heard, well, when the reviews first came out, I heard it was not bad. I mean, Roger Ebert gave the same score he gave to the John Carpenter's The Thing. So I'm like, you know what? If he thought it's basically the same score, I might as well go see it. I shouldn't have trusted the fucking man. Roger Ebert is awesome still. I'm sad that he died, but I don't know. I don't know why he thought that thing and this thing is the same thing. But my god, when I saw it in theaters, I was all by myself until two old guys show up. And I don't think this made any money. Good. It was a piece of shit. I feel bad for the people who worked on it, but still, if it's a piece of shit, it's a piece of shit. And it was a gigantic piece of shit. It killed me. And it happened very early in the movie. I guess it all started when it turns out Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who I think is a very attractive woman. I liked her in almost every single movie she's in, except this one. Well, not this one. You know what? Let me put it away. The 2011 The Thing. She's supposed to be a scientist, and this happens in 1982. And the only way you could tell it's 1982 because she was listening on her Walkman, but that doesn't... So what? You could barely tell it's supposed to be 1982. It just looks like it's 2011. So they really screwed that up. And just in case if you didn't know it's 1982, it actually said on the bottom 1982. Ugh. So yeah, this is a prequel. It takes place before The Thing. It's talking about the Norwegians. And you know what? I like the idea of it. I like, okay, so what exactly happened to the Norwegians? You know, that idea, that concept is what drew me to the movie in the first place. I didn't realize that they're going to fuck it up anyway. I wish they did, because, oh my god. I don't know. I guess this is the most angry I've ever been in a theater. I mean, I was mad in Prometheus, but like I said, I liked it for what it was at the time. But in terms of pure anger, pure hatred, The Thing 2011, yeah, I was extremely mad. Mad. I want to throw things at the screen. It was horrible. I never thought I would be so mad at a movie in my life. And, you know, I had a similar experience in Iron Man 3, which is a movie I really love, but there's this one scene that got me so mad, and I was filled with anger. But I'll talk about Iron Man 3 next time. But The Thing 2011. So the Norwegians hired Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and they're going to find out what the heck the thing is, which turns out to be a spider crab alien thing. They showed the damn alien way too much. I don't know why. Is it because the guys who created this hated the lighting in the original? Because seriously, this thing they showed way too many times. It didn't look threatening at all. It didn't. And, you know, I don't think they really focused so much on the CG aspect of it. I mean, they said it's supposed to be a tribute. It's supposed to be good to the original, but I saw the makings of it, and there were practical effects, actual practical effects. They were showing how they made it. But in the end, I don't know if the studio just decided to do all CG. It sucks. The CG is crap. They should have spent another year or two just to perfect it, because it looks like shit. I didn't see many textures on any of the creatures. They look like, you know, I Am Legend with the vampires? Yeah, they look worse than that. You know, I liked I Am Legend, but even I admit the CG vampires looked horrendous. But at least they made it, they actually explained why that the vampires don't have that much textures in their skin is because of the, you know, they're vampires. They're more slimy-like. I guess that kind of makes sense. But at the same time, in this one, my god, even the CG humans look horrendous. They look awful. It's like they barely worked on them. They went through the previous process. I don't know, that's what it seemed like to me. But if it turns out that those were actual practical effects, I'm like, why do they look so fake? It's I don't know if it's the lighting or something like that. It looks different because I saw all the makings of it. Each single creature. They looked amazing in practical effects. But the final product, they look like shit. I don't know what the hell happened. I guess it's the lighting because they showed every single angle of this freaking thing. I mean, well, what can I say? The original thing is more based on the atmosphere. The dark, scary suspense that it could. It's there. If it doesn't involve the alien, at least it's one of those killer movies where you're surrounded by all your friends, but one by one, each of them is getting picked off, and you don't know who's the real killer. It's like the 10 Little Indians, that story, which I liked because these people, they can't trust anyone else. It's every man for themselves, but they know that strength is in numbers, but at the same time, that any one of those things could be the thing. So, this one, in the first movie, that it's like a guessing game. You're trying to figure out who's who, who's the thing, who's infected, who's not infected. But in this one, oh man, you already know who it is. It's because of the stupid scenes that they keep showing. Like the first guy who gets infected, he's the guy who just walked out the door and said, "Oh, I forgot what he said. I think he has to go pee or something like that. He just has to check out something outside." You already know that he's going to be the first person to be the thing. And then after that, he was talking with a woman, and then the camera just stays on her. You know she's going to be the next thing, and it turns out she was. And then the whole thing is telegraphed, and I hate that. There's no suspense, there's no mystery, there's nothing. It's not a tribute to the original. It's not scary at all. If anybody's scared from this shit, they're pussies, I'm sorry. And I'm a bigger pussy than most of the women I know. They could handle scary movies than this. But my god, I did not feel any tension at all. It's horrible. I mean, how could they screw this up so badly? So how's the acting? It mostly sucks. The only three people that are good is the black guy, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Joel Edgerton. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I like those three. But the problem is that they're given nothing to do. It's like guidelines of a horror movie. And why is this why do I think it's terrible? One, the biggest problem with this is that the thing shows itself way too much. When it's trying to hide from people, it just reveals itself. Because the first time it infected a human and it revealed itself is when the thing is on the chopper, its disguise wasn't blown yet, and then there was a guy who was traumatized and the two Americans. There's only two, Joel Edgerton and the black guy. So they're gonna go to another base, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead figures out that one of them has to be the thing. She doesn't know who, but the audience already knows who, unless you're that stupid. So when Mary Elizabeth Winstead flags them down and the helicopter's gonna land again, the thing revealed itself because he's like, "Oh no, they found out my secret." I'm like, dude, no one knows which one's the thing. But it has to reveal itself, split the head and then show the giant, many tentacles. It's like watching a CGI hentai. It was creepy as hell, but at the same time, the effects look extremely fake. The tentacles, they didn't have textures. They were like fongs in Maya or blends. Just the color, that's it. There's nothing on it. That's what it looked like to me. And so it revealed itself, and then it revealed itself again when it infected the woman. See, I don't know why it has to have two women in this movie. I guess the first one was a sausage fest, but it makes sense on why they're all men. They're in Antarctica. They're doing research. They're for oil, for drills and all that stuff. You don't see that many women. So I guess it kind of makes sense that there should be women in this one, but this is a prequel also. And I don't understand why the Norwegians want to hire an American to help them figure out what the Norwegians discovered. I mean, the Norwegians don't have their own scientists. I guess. Why? Is Mary Elizabeth Winstead that good in her field that they have to hire her? I mean, they don't think that she would betray them or say anything about the alien that they discovered? I mean, don't the Norwegians want to take all the credit? Makes no fucking sense to me. But, yeah, the other woman was infected, and it led Mary Elizabeth Winstead into a storage room. I think, yeah, it's a room, and you know, you think that the alien could easily just consume her, but no, 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 no. It takes like a minute or two to fully transform into this hideous thing that's like, you know, a giant gaping mouth, and the head comes off, and yeah, there's a little bit of nudity, but the boob becomes part of the alien anyway, so no one, if you want to jerk off to that, go right ahead, you're creeps. But yeah, the woman becomes the thing, becomes fully naked, tears off all her clothes, and tries to you know, assimilate Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but it took so long in transforming that Mary just escapes. Easily. This thing is a terrible hunter. I mean, wow. It had its prey cornered, and it fucked that up. Instead, it goes for another guy because the other, there's a guy who just came into the hallway while during the rampage and just happens to be in front of the alien. I don't think it's really his fault, but Mary even said, "Run!" He didn't. He's just standing there confused, which I guess is a normal reaction for any person, but come on. As soon as I see that thing, I would run too. But like I said, the CG is horrendous because they you know, the original, they used the darkness to not show off most of the thing, so it looks realistic that way. This one, it uses bright lights just to show every single detail of the alien, and my god, it looks horrendous. All of them. So after that, they kill off they killed off the she-bitch with the flamethrower, but you know what's funny about the flamethrower? A guy just happened to be carrying it. In the original, when the dog thing was showing up, and then a guy asked Charles to bring a flamethrower because Mac said so, and he's like, "Wait, Mac wants a what? Just bring the flamethrower!" But in this one, Mary Elizabeth just, you know, closes the door, and she's panting, and everyone's like, what's going on? Then you see this dramatic running shot of a guy with a flamethrower, and immediately he knows what's going on. I'm like, how did he know this? Where did you get a flamethrower? At least it's more established in the original, but no, we just have to have the flamethrower here. For whatever. I don't know why they have flamethrowers in Antarctica. I think someone says it's de-icing the pipes, but I don't know. I don't know much about flamethrowers. Also in Antarctica. But, so yeah, they burned the she-bitch down, and then she's like, "Wait, everyone could be infected. Dun dun dun!" But at that point, you already know who's infected because of their personalities. And, you know, they had... The movie tried to be smart with the Norwegians versus Americans thing, you know, the language border and stuff like that, but it didn't go there. Didn't even try. And then there was one Norwegian who's like, "Oh, well, she's the leader now." So it turns out that another guy was infected, of course. Oh yeah, they tried the test. In the original, they did the blood test because it turns out that every soul is living and it's part of the thing. So if and it does whatever it takes to you know, protect itself. Because there was a scene where the fat guy whose stomach exploded, when he was being burned by the flamethrower, his head came off and then became like a head spider, which is still creepy to this day. Oh my god. And so they're doing the same thing here. They're like, but they didn't do the blood test. They did the what's it called, the caps in your teeth? I forgot. You know, any fillings. They check out the fillings because the thing cannot imitate the metal. It has to, I think one of the guys that tried to copy, it just spat out the metal brace or something like that in his leg. So Mary Elizabeth Winstead figures this out, and she's like, "Okay, everyone's got to check for fillings." Some of them, some of the people don't have metal fillings, so they could be infected. But the people who do have fillings, it turns out they are not infected. You know, I could take that, whatever, it tried. It tried to be smart for once. But the problem is that most of these people who have fillings, there's this one guy with a bushy beard who looks like the dwarf from The Hobbit. He took such a long time to open his fucking mouth. He has no reason to do that. The entire time you're wondering, is he infected or not? Why is he slowly opening his mouth? But no, he's not infected. What was the point? And then it turns out the Americans came in, you know, the 2 helicopter guys, and you're wondering, how the hell did they survive that, especially with the thing inside the helicopter? So the Norwegians and Mary Elizabeth Winstead believe that they're probably infected as well. They can't trust them, and I don't blame them. That part was actually interesting. It made sense. But the way they handled it is fucking stupid. So everyone's gathered together, the Americans in one pile, and the Norwegians here, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead doing the test, blah, 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 blah. And then, exactly, I forgot what happened, but one of the Norwegians, the one with the gray head, he collapsed, and then people are trying to bring him into the room. Here's the thing, if you don't know if the guy's infected or not, you know, you shouldn't touch the guy. But they still touched him anyway, brought him to the room. One of his arms came off, and it becomes like a spider hand thing, and then grabs onto the guy, bushy beard guy, and then tries to assimilate him. He's dead. Or he'll be dead. They burn him also. So then the guy, you know, twitches and, you know, does his contortionist shit. And my god, this scene is not scary at all. It is very long too. It was boring as hell. Because a tentacle comes up and tries to kill people, and it finally stabbed one guy who looks like a surfer dude. I forgot what his name is. He was a pointless character anyway. And then it killed off the black guy, who I liked. He had a personality. But no. They had to kill him off also. It's like, oh no, this is just a callback to the first one. We just have to kill off the black guy just to make sure we're different. Ugh. So the guy, the surfer guy who got stabbed, you know, the thing joins up with him, and they become the 2-headed thing that you saw in the original movie. But they got the details wrong. I don't know why they made this thing look like this thing, but it looks nothing like the original version. Because if you look closely, you should look at the teeth and the facial thing. I mean, I understand that in the original movie it got burned off anyway, so you don't really know what it fully looks like, but at least this one was inconsistent. It didn't look anything close to the original. And it's all CG. It looks horrible. And like I said, there are videos of makings of it, and they used the practical effect. You know, they actually made this thing walking and moving, and it was a suit, and it looks amazing. But the CG in this looks horrendous. It's not scary at all, and because of the bright lights, it looks even goofier. I don't know if this movie was in 3D, but I think the 3D would have made it pop out more and make it look even worse. So, you know, the 2-headed thing becomes, and then Mary Elizabeth Winstead is the only one with the flamethrower. She burns off everything. There's this callback to a scene in the original where a guy, they found someone in the radio room, and he sliced his wrist and throat, and they have to show that. And what else? There's another callback to the axe in the room, because Joel Edgerton, he found one of the hand spider things, and he cut one and killed one, and then he was about to retrieve the axe, but Mary Elizabeth's wife said, no, just leave it there. Because it was in the original movie. That axe could be useful later, but no, she's like, no, leave it there. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense, because people are going to see the original again, or they already love the original. We have to make it a tribute. Fucking ass. Ugh. So the thing infected the main evil doctor guy. So you know he's going to be the final thing. And so it's just Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Joel Edgerton and Dr. Thing. So here's the problem. Like in the original, the thing crash landed onto Earth. It accidentally crash landed into Antarctica. But the way this movie proved, it wasn't accidental. It wasn't on purpose. It didn't crash. It landed. Okay, because the ship was working. The ship is working. It could go at any time. Nothing's wrong with it. It's perfect. So, I don't know why the alien decides to land in Antarctica, out of all places, instead of, I don't know, they said it's been there for 10,000 years. It could have went to South America, North America, whatever. But no, it just decided to land on purpose in Antarctica, and that is bullshit. It's supposed to be a crash landing. It's supposed to be accidental. The alien doesn't know anything about ice and everything. No, no, no. It landed on purpose. So someday that people can, dig it up, open it, and then become assimilated by the thing. No, it's horrible. So yeah, the doctor thing tries to assimilate Elizabeth, and she killed it off. I totally forgot how. The doctor thing died, and and then it turns out that Joel Edgerton and Mary Elizabeth Winstead separated, and when they meet up together in the end, she can't trust him because of the earring. The earring used to be on his left ear or right ear or something like that, but then it switched sides and he lost it. So she asked him, what happened to your earring? Because, things can't assimilate metal. So she burned his ass, and here's the thing. thing. I'm not sure if Joel Edgerton was a thing, because in the end he was screaming out loud, but he wasn't doing the alien roars or something like that. He didn't change or anything. He was still human. So at that point I'm like, did she just kill a dude? A real dude who's not infected? I mean, I understand that he couldn't answer a question about the metal thing, but at the same time, he stammered because she's holding a fucking flamethrower in his face. He can't escape from that. I understand his reaction. I understand why he said the way, he's like a normal human. That's what I thought. Unless it turns out he was actually the thing. I don't know. It's confusing. I mean, probably someone would tell me, is he really or really not the thing? I believe he was just a human and she just burned his ass. And then it gets to the ending, which is the opening of the thing, which is the best thing I could say about this movie. It's shot almost exactly the way it is. It turns out one of the Norwegians survived and he's not infected. The guy who tried to shoot down the dog in the opening of John Carpenter's The Thing. And he happens to be the only one who doesn't speak English. But he understands it. So, what else happened? It turns out one of the dogs escaped and he knows it's the thing. And he tries killing it, and then it stops right there. It basically leads to the opening of the original John Carpenter's The Thing. And that's the only scene I liked in this entire fucking movie. I don't know. I'm wondering if they just rushed it or the creators are incompetent. I don't know. Like I said, I've never been mad in the theater in my entire life, and this was the one that pissed me the hell off. Right after they meet up with Mary Elizabeth Winstead in the science lab, which is probably the first 5 minutes, I was pissed. Immediately pissed, because these scientists are not scientists, they're dumb. They're like the scientists from Prometheus. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is like the only smart one because she doesn't want to break the ice and then possibly infect the people because they don't know where it came from, what exactly it is. It's been under the ice for 10,000 years, and the main scientist dude is like, no, we gotta get a blood sample. Why do you have to rush? You have all this time. And for a horror movie, if you don't watch the original The Thing, this one is still terrible. It's not scary at all. It doesn't set up atmosphere. The characters, most of them are unlikable, or they don't even have a personality. And you're probably thinking, oh, that's because they're mostly Norwegians, but no, that's bullshit. None of them have a personality. I don't even care about any of the characters except just 3. At least in the original John Carpenter's The Thing, you care about actually all of them. They all have their separate personalities. This one, I didn't even give a damn. And there's more people in this one than the original The Thing, just to increase the body count. And you know what? All the work that went into this, it doesn't show anything. It's just horrible. And I have never been let down in my life by a movie in the theater. So yeah, that's the worst movie I've ever seen in the theater. Thanks.